Yeah. Anyways, the title of my talk is The Marathon Continues. So happy to be here today. I get to go last, so I might take a little bit longer than the rest of them. The most common question that we get from the time we start elementary school until we end high school is, what are you going to be when you grow up? I remember when I was 5 years old, I really wanted to be a bus driver because that's what my dad did. And then, I know this is smelly, but I just wanted to drive a bus. At 7 years old, I wanted to be an NHL hockey player. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm like 6'4", so like that didn't work out, obviously. At 12 years old, I was almost 6 feet tall, so I wanted to be an NBA basketball player. And then at 15, fresh off a trip to Southern California, where I was exposed to West Coast hip hop for the first time, so artists like Tupac, I wanted to be a rapper. Now, obviously, the rap career didn't work out. Professional athlete career didn't work out for me, but I feel that through my experiences, I'm exactly where I need to be today. And I believe I have 3 things that's going to help you on this journey that we all call life. Now, my first point is, don't be afraid of failure. Now, we live in a social media world, and it's so easy to get caught up in, seeing the perfect selfies. You see, the dog posts. You see the travel posts. You see the food posts. Everything you see around you on social media is almost perfect. But you never see the negative things of life. You don't see the half-eaten sandwich. You don't see a girl with only half her makeup done. You don't see the university rejection letters. In fact, it's almost harder to take a step out there and go after your dreams and your aspirations, because when you really look around, all you see are people that are winning. And you see edited versions of people. It's almost paralyzing to even try. But I'm here to tell you today, don't believe everything that you see. My favorite athlete of all time is Michael Jordan. Now, Michael Jordan was quoted as saying, I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Now, you're going to fail. That's inevitable in life. It's just going to happen. But do not let fear paralyze you. Don't let it take you out. Because when you face these obstacles, it's going to take something inside of you to push through and not be afraid to fail. So again, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Push past whatever you're going through, and you can do it. My next point is, you got to invest in yourself. Okay, has anyone here ever been hangry? All right, we got like 4 honest people in here. For the people that don't know what hangry means, it's basically the word hungry and angry fused together as one. Now, I want you to think about the last time that you were hangry. How did you feel? Hangry, yeah? What were your thoughts? Food, yeah? What was your Someone's hangry right now. They're like, hurry up and finish so I can eat. But what was your body language like? Probably arms crossed. I don't know, probably upset. But I remember the last time that I was hangry. All I could think about were crispy, greasy chicken nuggets from McDonald's. You know what I'm talking about. You got to get the side of fries. Got to get the honey mustard sauce. Yeah, okay. And now I'm going to give you the best McDonald's pro tip ever. When you go to McDonald's, you got to get that individually packaged McChicken sauce. You mix that up with some ketchup. Oh man, it's going to be a good night. I'm telling you. McDonald's going to get so much business after tonight. Hashtag not ad. It's not even an ad. But the reason I bring that up, it's funny, but when you really don't have your basic needs met, you can't really act yourself. In fact, when your basic needs aren't met, you're kind of a different person. Now, when I was hangry, all I can think about was just getting McDonald's. I wasn't focused on like what I got to do at that moment, like what my goals are, what are my aspirations in life. No, I was just like, let's just get a McDonald's and then I'll be good. Put it this way. You wouldn't drive a car on an empty tank of gas. The same thing applies to us. We can't really go that far if our gas tank is empty. Now, how do you fill up that gas tank? First of all, you got to read some books. You got to educate yourself. You got to work out. You got to eat healthy. You got to do anything that will make you a better person overall. If you really want to get to that next stage in life, it's going to take you investing in yourself to get there. Now, you are your most valuable asset. I'm not an investor or anything. This is not financial advice, but I'm just saying, you are your most valuable asset. And if you don't invest in yourself, you're not going to be able to achieve what you set out to do. Now, my last point is, life is a marathon. So I remember when I was a kid and I was asked how old I was, I'd always follow up with the word "and." Now, here's a challenge to you if you don't believe that. Go ask any younger kid, someone that's like, really small. I'm bigger than most people, but ask like someone that's really small. Ask them how old they are. And they will always follow it with the word "and." For example, when I was asked my age, I would say I'm 4.5. I'm 4 3/4. I could not wait to get older. Why is that? Because as you get older, you get a lot of perks, right? You can drive, you can get a job, you can get some money. My main goal when I was a kid was like, I'm just gonna get a good job. Like I thought like $10 an hour is a good job. And I'm just gonna buy one of those massive tubs of candy, like sour keys from Costco. They're like $5.96. I'm not saying I've ever bought it before. I just know the price. I might have bought it a couple of times. But that's all I really cared about. I just really wanted to get that candy. I just really wanted to drive. If you don't know how to drive yet, here's another pro tip. This is not even part of my speech, but I thought I'd add it in. Once you learn how to drive, you just become your parents' slave, okay? You're going to the grocery store, you're going to put gas in the car. Like it's not as fun as it is, like joyriding with your friends. It's not that. You just become, your parents are like, hey, here's a car, go get this, go get that. You just become a chauffeur, man. So if you're excited to drive, I'm sorry, I'm disappointing you right now. It's not that glamorous, okay? But the reason I share all of this and I'm talking about, being in a rush to get older is because we live in that time right now that we're in such a rush. You start elementary school, what happens? You can't wait to be an intermediate. For any Americans watching this, I think it's middle school, but I don't know. But you can't wait to get out of elementary school. Then you get to high school, and you're like, okay, this is cool. I like this, but I can't wait to get out. I can't wait to get to university. Then you get to university, and the same thing keeps happening. You're like, I can't wait to get out of here and get a good job. And then you realize you live in Vancouver, so you're like, I need a better job, and then a better job so I can buy a house, because it's really hard to buy a house in here in Vancouver. But it's just moving. What's next? And I just want to stop for a second. I just want to stop for a second because you know what? We're in a really special time right now. We are in a special time because we're actually never going to live this moment ever again. We're never going to be here right now ever again. And if we don't stop to enjoy it, we're going to miss out on the moment of right now. So again, life is a marathon. Now, I actually had, and I do not recommend this if you ever plan to do a TED Talk or plan to do a speech, don't change it like 30 minutes before, because I'm about to do that right now. So I might not have, I don't even have it on the prompter, and there's a prompter over there, so you know now. But I don't even have, that's why every speaker's always like, what's going on? Like, look, there's nobody there, it's just a prompter. But I don't recommend changing it, but I wanted to change it. And the reason why I wanted to change it is because I was going to talk about Michael Jordan, and that's one of my favorite athletes. But you know what? I don't actually know MJ. I buy some Jordans. I bought some Jordan clothes. I watch him play, but I don't really know him. And I was going to tell his story. And this comes back to my first point, not being afraid to fail. I was so afraid to actually come up here and share my story because I'm like, yo, man, I'm doing a TED Talk. I don't even know if that, if I have a good enough story to share with you guys to gain your attention. But you know what? I'm not going to be afraid to fail. I'm going to take my own advice today. I'm going to tell you my own story, okay, if that's okay with you guys. So not being afraid to fail was really hard for me growing up because I saw some things that I hope that a lot of people don't see in their lives, but it was really hard for me to not be afraid to fail because I was so paralyzed when I thought about, okay, I want to be a good basketball player, or I want to be a good hockey player, or I want to be a good speaker. It was hard for me to put myself out there and try. But when I figured out that, hey, fear is nothing, man. Fear is nothing. If I just put myself out there and just do it, that's half the battle, just showing up. So if you're struggling with like math or your homework or trying to get into university, just show up, man. Show up, because that's 50% of the battle. Hey, I showed up today. I showed up today, and that was 50% of my battle today. Next thing is you got to invest in yourself. Now, a lot of people always ask me this question, like, why do you like to work with kids and youth? To be honest, I never really answer that with honesty. Sometimes I say, like, I like working with kids and youth because I like being a good role model and stuff, and I like helping people. I do. I like helping people, and I like being a role model for people if I can help somebody be better in their life. I do enjoy that. But the real honesty is that little kids and youth believe in you, man. They look at you in a way, they can look past the facade. They can look past the front. That's why I'm not like up here wearing like Yeezys and ripped jeans and stuff like that. I don't want to try to fit in with you, like, because I'm not. But like youth and kids can see past that. But they can also, they can see who you can become. It's the funny thing about kids is they always see the best in people. They can always see your potential. That's why I honestly like working with kids, and I've invested a lot of time working with youth, because they encourage me. As much as I can encourage someone and help them be better in their life and be a role model for people, honestly, man, youth and kids encourage me because they always believe in me. I'm 6'4". Every single kid thinks I can lift a building just because I'm tall. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. They're like, you can lift your car up. I'm like, no, I can't, man. It's like a ton. I can't lift my car up. But kids just believe in me. And that's something that I've invested in myself, is just being around people that believe in me. And that will happen with your friends as well. I spent a lot of time hanging out with the wrong friends and being around people that don't believe me. But I've taken that consideration, investing in myself, is if I really want to go somewhere in life, man, I got to find people that believe in me, because I really don't got time for people that don't believe in me. Life is really short. And I really can't be discouraged with people that don't believe in me. So that's my next advice to you, is get around people that believe in you. I'm so lucky that I have friends, I have family. I hope you guys, believe in me, that are right there with me, because really that's helped me get so far in life. The last thing is the marathon. So I'll open up a little bit here, because, I was really encouraged by the speakers that went before me, opening up about their families and opening up about their struggles, their personal struggles. And I can really appreciate that, because when I was their age, I didn't have the courage to really share my struggles. But, I think this has turned into a counseling session, so I might as well go for it right now. But one of my greatest fears is that, I'm going to die like tomorrow. So I get these like big ideas, and I'm like, awesome. But I'm like, okay, I probably only have a day because I might die tomorrow. I actually have a fear of dying. It's something that I've battled with a lot throughout my life, with anxiety, because I really got it from when my mom got cancer. And it was just such a shock to me that when my mom got cancer, it really shook me to my core, that it started paralyzing me, because any big idea or aspirations that I got, I felt like I had to do it right away, because I'm like, who knows, I could get cancer, or I can have a heart attack, or I could get sick, or something can happen to me. So I was in such a rush all the time. And I'll be honest, I'm still in a rush sometimes. Like, people said I talk fast, but I think that's just natural. I'm not really in a rush here, because I know I got time. But I just act that way. I just act out of that fear sometimes. And I'm always in such a rush. And that's why I want to encourage you guys and say life is a marathon, because that's really helped me. That's helped me a lot, because I've realized that, hey, I might do great things in this life, or I might not do great things in this life. I don't know. But I want to enjoy the time that I have now. I want to enjoy every single moment. And I know that life is a marathon. I know that I have some time. I don't know how much time I got, but I got some time right now. I'm going to make the best of it and enjoy this marathon. Now, I work as a youth worker, and I work as a minister now. So I wanted to share a quote with you guys from the Bible, if that's okay. It's from Matthew 6, verse 34. All right, that was the basketball stuff. That was like the point that I missed, or I didn't want to talk about that. But anyways, so it says here, Matthew 6:34. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today. Now the person that said that is Jesus Christ. And Jesus, he was preparing to go and die on a cross. So I just find this really interesting, just knowing that, someone knows when they're going to die and knows how they're going to die, is still saying, so don't worry about tomorrow. And I just want to encourage you guys today that whatever you feel inside, whatever you're dreaming about, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just do what you can today. All you have right now is the time that you have in your hands and the time that's in front of you. I'm so thankful and grateful you're listening to me. I'm honored that you're here. But just cherish that time. Know that life is a marathon. Now, again, if you really want to go on the right track in life, if you want to find out who you actually are, find out what you're here for, first thing you got to do is you can't be afraid to fail. The next thing you got to do is you got to invest in yourself. And lastly, you have to understand that life is a marathon. I'm Keith Matthew Nath, and the marathon continues.